as you run your cursor along it, you will, the last one, it will light up and it says library. If you click on that, it takes you to the online library page. And this is where you can browse the material that is available in the BGU Online Library. You're also able to download material here if you find material that is useful for you. And there are also links here to items in Google Books if we don't have the full resource. Now, searching in the online library is actually fairly simple. There's the one big search box on the top, and you simply enter. You can use one of the options here to search by a specific title or a specific author or a subject. Or you can leave it at all fields, and if you actually just enter what you're looking for, it will search. So for example, I was just looking for something by Peter Lake. I put in his name. The last name, of course, goes in first, and it brings up this book by Peter Lake, and then something else it will pull everything that has either Peter or Lake in it. So it's brought up these two books. And if, for example, the first one is the one that I wanted to look at, there is information here that tells me whether the entire text is available in the library or just maybe a link to somewhere else where I can find some of the book. So if you see this green dot, it means the entire book is available for you to see in the library. If you don't see that, it means that maybe there's just a link. I'm gonna put in, let me see. Some of you are doing the resource, and I think the first book on your list is the book by Booth. And you see, if you type in the author Booth, it brings up everything that has anything resembling Booth in the record. But the first one that pops up is The Craft of Research by Wayne Booth, which is one of the main texts for those of you who are doing that craft of research, that research program, that research course at the RES 702. Now, here again, you'll see it's got the green dot that says the full text is available online in the library. It gives you the authors, the title information, and it also tells you that it's a book. If the item is another format, it will also tell you. Let me see if there's, you'll see down at the bottom, the last one here, the right of mine, it says dissertation. So it normally tells you what is the format of the record. If it's an article where it says book or where it says dissertation here, instead it will say article. Now, if we wanted to, for example, go look at the book, The Craft of Research, because we're required to read it for this class, for the RES 702 class, you click on it and it brings up the metadata on the book, bit about, you know, it gives you some subject headings. It tells you that it's part of the writings. It tells you it tells you the author, the publisher, and in this one, it gives you a little bit of a blurb or an abstract or a summary describing what the book is all about. But more importantly, at top, you'll see this below the title and information. It says digital resources available. And right below that is, you'll find an active link. Now, sometimes I have students will say to me, but we cannot find the item. It says it's there, but we can't see where it is. It's a little bit gray, the lettering for it, and unfortunately that's a populating. I can't change that, but it's there if you, it's just a gray rather than black, but if you pass your cursor over it, you'll see that it's an active link. And to the right, you have the option it's 300 and something pages. But normally it will, if you wait on it a few minutes, it will upload in this box. Oh, here it comes. And then you can just scroll and read it like you would the regular book, except that in this case, it's an ebook and it's like a PDF, but you can download it as a PDF. And it's the entire book you'll see is like there, and it's laid out in the same format as the textbook. Now, if you wanted to download it, you can actually do it from this screen as well. If you'll see if you pass your cursor over this that looks like a page, it gives you the option to download it as a PDF. So this is where you can also download it as a PDF and save it on your computer if you so desired. Now, this format is basically the format throughout the online library for all the items in the online library. Oh, in addition, on the left here, I do also have sorry, some links to Amazon, so that if, for example, you wanted to go and purchase a hard copy or something else on Amazon, you can actually click on there and it will take you to the page in Amazon where you can actually purchase either a hard copy or if you wanted a separate ebook, you can do it from the screen. So wherever it is, that option is available, you will find it right here on this page as well. So don't be afraid to browse and look around. On this one, even though the full ebook is there, I do also have a link here, which takes you to Google Books as well. Usually for most items, I will only put the link where I do not have the full e-text. If I don't have the full e-text, then normally I will make sure that I put a link that will take you to Google Books once it's available in Google Books. And you can go there and read significant portions of the item. Now, if we can go back to our main search screen, in this drop-down menu here, it kind of gives you an idea of some of the forms of or types of material that we have in the library. Articles, books, and dissertations are the three main types. So if you wanted to look specifically for one format versus another, for example, sometimes an instructor may say that they want you to look specifically for articles on a particular topic. So what you can do is do your search on that type of material only. So you would make that selection here before you put in your subject. So let's put try missions. And you'll see that all the results that come up, they all say that they're articles. And as long as they have the green dot, it means the full text of the article is available there in the online library. And if we click on a title and have a look at one of these, you'll see that the format is pretty much the same. You have the title and author at the top. It says the digital resources are available, and you'll see it below here. And for this one, actually, like there is a PowerPoint as well as a PDF. So you'll see them listed separately here, and you can open them one at a time, or you can download a zip that will download both items at the same time. And it gives you some basic metadata and the subjects there. And it tells you it was published by. And again, you have the options to view and download. And always remember to get back to your screen with your search box. You simply click on this active link here that says catalog and shows the back arrow. If you click on that, it will take you back always to your main screen where you can search for other bits of information. The other thing you can search for could be a dissertation. And you see, I haven't changed my subject. I just changed the type of item I'm looking for. And it's brought up only dissertations that are in the collection, the library collection, that have to do with mission, that has mission or mission somewhere in its record. And you see again here, it shows the format of the item as a dissertation, and everything that's come back here is a dissertation. So you do have the option to look by type of material or simply by subject, or if you specifically want a book, you can select book, or if you are browsing, of course, the idea is you can always leave it in select all resource types, and then you'll get back a selection, a broader selection. So you'll get books, you'll get dissertations, and if there are articles on the topic, you will get articles as well. Does anybody have any questions on searching this part of the library, or are we comfortable with that?
It is clear.
Great. So we will now go on to links, which is the other important section in the online library. Across the top, right below Bakke Graduate University Library, you'll see you have a number of tabs. The one that you need to, that is important for you is this one that says links. So if you click on links, it takes you to this screen, which is sort of moves linearly, but there are a lot of resources here that I want to draw to your attention. First and foremost, at the top are the Proquest databases, which are some subscription databases that BGU subscribes to. And as a student, you have access to it. As it says here, our login is required, but the login is very simple. It's BGU followed by your student ID number. Now, it's very easy. If you don't know your student ID number, it's very easy to find it. I'm just going to quickly switch screens so that you can see where you can find your student ID number. If we go back to the home screen, you'll see one of the options you have on the tabs at the top is My Profile. If you click on My Profile, you will see your name, and below your name, there's a number. That is your student ID number. And that's the number you need to keep to access the Proquest databases. So we'll go back to the library and we'll go back to links. So here where it says BGU followed by your student ID number, that's where your student ID number will you'll get it from your profile. So your student, if your student ID number is 12345, you will use BGU 12345. That will be your login for Proquest Databases. And if we click on Proquest Databases, this is where your logging is required. So you would put BGU here, followed by your student ID number. And then you simply click Login. And this is your landing page for the Proquest Databases. And as it tells you at the top, it's comprised of 9 databases, and you have the option on this page to start setting parameters for your search. So similarly to the on the BGU Online Library main search page, you also have the option here to select and search only scholarly journals, only for books, only for dissertations, etc. And this is where you would enter your search term. So I'm gonna do, let's say we're gonna do compassionate mission. But before we start the search, because we're all graduate students, actually it moved a little quicker than I wanted to, because I wanted to limit on that first page, but it doesn't matter because actually this shows the point I want to make. If you don't start setting limits on from that first page, look at the volume of results that you get back. This is a huge collection of databases. I mean, the number of materials that are in these databases number in the millions. So you do have to not only refine your search, but you need to set limitations to cut down on the volume of results that you get back. Because you are graduate students, you should always be looking for peer-reviewed material. So that is something I would recommend that you always select, and you'll see the difference it makes in the results. The moment I've selected peer-reviewed, the results went from 80-something thousand down to 5,000. So that's always a limitation that you should set from the beginning, from the first screen, where you did your main search, right below the search box, these 2 boxes actually are there. The one that says full text and the one that says peer reviewed. And I always recommend that you select those 2 from the get-go, so that then your results become a lot more manageable. You can also, on the left, you'll see there's a menu that allows you to filter your results in a number of other ways. So for example, we can select, we only want to see the results from scholarly journals. So we select scholarly journals, and you'll see your results will start to change as you select stuff. If you're looking for current material, you can select maybe what's been published in the last 12 months, or you can select what's published in the, you can determine, what you want to make your filter. And you see if you selected like just what was published in the last 12 months, it's come down to 91 results. So this is how you can make your search more manageable. You also have the option of setting a date range, so that if you were looking for maybe something that was published within a specific period of time, you can set your date range from X date to Y date. and it will just search and give you that material that was published during that date range. In addition, you can also search by document type. It tells you for each type of item that has come back in the search, how many were features, how many were articles, how many were commentaries, etc., etc. It tells you the amount in brackets so that you can see, and you can actually select here. So if you just wanted to see the articles, you didn't want to see the commentaries or reviews, or if you just wanted to see the commentaries, you can just click on that. It will only show you those 5. And remember, you can always go back and change your filters. It doesn't lose the results that were there before. It just shows you the one you've actually selected. And you can always clear that. And it will give you back all the options again. There's also an option if the results, in this case, the 91 results are all in English. Sometimes the results are, some of them may be in different languages like French or Portuguese or something. It will tell you here, and it will tell you how many are in a different language. In this case, the results we have are all 91 are in English, so that's fine. You've also got, they will show you some of the journals that some of the articles have come from. And you can select more, and it will give you a more extensive list, will pop up. And you can actually include and exclude the ones you want to look at from this screen. And then it would only show you the ones that you've selected. And as you've seen, for each journal here, it tells you how many are in that particular journal. So if you only wanted to include the ones that was in the publication religions, you can just select that and say maybe, okay, I want to see the ones that are in this Journal of Business Ethics. I can select that, and then I can apply that filter, and it will automatically change and just give me those results, which was 11 in one and 8 in the other. So you now have 19, and it will just show you those 19. But remember, if you wanted to go back and make any change, you haven't lost any of the previous, the original search. All you have to do is remove the filter that you have put in. If you clear the filter, it will take you back to your original set of results. The other thing on this page that I want to show is that on the bottom, they suggest, based on the search that you made, that you put in the search terms that you put in the search box, it will give you suggestions as to other related searches that you can possibly do, so that it helps to concretize in your mind what it is you're actually searching for. Because when you look at some of these things, you may realize, oh wait, these particular words actually may bring me back something that's more relevant to my research topic. And basically what happens is you can click on any of these. You'll see they're all active links. And if you click on it, let's do mission and popular music. Actually, that's some interesting. If we click on that, it will then bring you up research results that relate to that topic. And if you look at that and that's not quite what you were looking for, you do have more suggested searches, or you can go back to your previous search. And you're back to your original search. You also have some options at the top right, one of which is modify search. So if your original search, you want to make some changes to it, you think based on what you've seen here, maybe you need to tweak, you can hit modify search. It will take you back to that first screen. Remember here, I was talking about always selecting full text and peer reviewed on this screen. It's a good idea. And let's try, we're gonna do, say rescue. Let me just take that out and try. I decided, okay, inside what I really want to look at is rescue missions. Oh, and there's an auto suggestion feature here in Proquest. So as you start to type your search terms, it automatically shows you below other search terms that may be relevant or maybe, guide you as to what you should be or could possibly be looking for. So as I started to type, I see rescue missions down here, and I know that's what I want to look for. So I'm gonna just select that and go ahead and have it search. And you see it's brought up, well, again, we have a lot of results, so you always have to start your filtering. And you'll do that the same way we did the previous one. You can filter and bring it down to a manageable size. Now, in terms of the items that come up as part of your research, you'll see that Proquest tends to highlight in each entry the words that you have used in your search. And this is to show you how the database functions and how it brings back results to you. It basically just looks through the entire database for things that has those words that you've entered for your search. And it highlights those words in the results. In addition to that, you have a number of options from the first screen. If you just wanted to have a quick look, for example, if I looked at this article and I thought, oh, this kind of fits what I'm looking for, I can just click on abstract or details and just look at an abstract of the article or a brief summary of the article to identify if I want to look at it any further. Or I can look at the full text, which is you can view on the screen, or I can look at the full text as a PDF, and it gives you an idea of the size of the record, the size of the file, so that if you wanted to download it, you know what size the file is. And then it tells you, it gives you an idea of how many people in other articles have cited this particular article. And when you're doing graduate research, that is important because that is what lends to it being scholarly. So if we wanted to just look at this one, we just click on the title and it opens up the entire record. Similar to how the BGU online library is laid out, which should make it easy for you to transition to this, is you have the title at the top, followed by the authors, the journal, you have the full citation here. And then you have the options, some of the options you saw on the first screen. So you can still look at the full text, you can look at the full text as PDF, or you can look at it as an abstract. You can just check the abstract if you just want to do a quick read of the abstract. But with the full text, you actually get everything, the abstract, the full text, and all the references. Now, one of the things I like with Proquest is that they also offer this translate feature. So if, for example, English is not your first language, and you would prefer to read the article in your own language, you do have this option to translate. Now, this I'm just going to do the abstract, but you can actually do it on the full text as well. So you can select your language. So we're translating it from English, and we want to translate, my language is, let's say it's French. I prefer to read it in French, so I want to translate it to French, and I hit translate. And you see how quickly it did that? It translated it to French so that you can now read it in a language in which you're comfortable. And then it's quite easy to then undo the translation. And you can do the same thing for the full text. There's the option there. And below that, I want to point out this to you because it's something that I think students often overlook, but it's a rich resource. And those are the references that are cited in any particular article or dissertation or whatever else you may be looking for at, whether it's a review or commentary or anything. If you have looked at this, if you look at this article, you read the entire article and you found it extremely relevant to your topic or to whatever you're researching, I always recommend look at the references that are cited for that article. Because if the article was particularly relevant, then the references are going to lead you to material that is equally relevant. So when you always remember, if you use an article and you find it enlightening and on point, look at the references that are cited in that article at the end of the article. Because, for example, for this, you've got probably as much as 20-something references. And if this article was on point for you, then you need to look at some of the references that they've cited. Additionally, what Proquest does is on the right of the screen, it tends to suggest other articles that are related to the one that you're looking at, that they're suggesting you might find equally relevant or interesting for whatever it is you're researching. And if you look at, let me just get something out of the way here. Yeah, if you look at these related items here, and that's the other thing that I want to mention, do not forget to look at these related items that are along the right of it. If you look here and you see something that's, you know, interesting to you, then, you know, if you click on it, it actually will then take you directly to that other article. So that if you want to, you can also, you know, have a look at this one. If it's not quite what you want, you can go back to your original article that you were looking at, and you can go back to your original results, to your search. Right at the top here, you'll see this link that says back to results, and that will take you back to your original results. Last thing I want to highlight on this page are the toolbox items that are on your top right. The first one is download the PDF. That's if you find the article interested and you want to download a PDF of it, you can do it here. you have an option to cite, and this is very good in that it helps to make sure that you're citing the article correctly. So if you want a citation for the article, you can click on it, and you have this pop-up box, and you select, there's a menu that allows you to select what format you want your citation in. So you can select APA style 6th edition, and it converts the citation for the article into APA style. And you can then copy and paste this into your document or into your list of references, or however you're saving your reference. And it's also a good way of helping you to check that your references are being cited properly.
Jennifer,
yes, go ahead.
Coffee question.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of switching to APA 7th. So do you know is Popularly, or is that through Proquest?
This is Proquest itself. They haven't switched yet to 7. So you'll find the last one that's here is 6.
Okay, thank you.
So you can, I think we're still using 6 at the moment.
Yes, Jennifer, and this is a question, sorry to interject.
No, go right ahead.
At the Academic Cabinet this month, we've decided to switch to APA 7 in July.
In July, okay.
July 1st, do you think that is too early with all the partners we're working with? I forgot to ask you.
Well, I think with the students who are already in and may have already started doing their
they continue
projects,
with
they
APA
will have to
6.
remain in 6.
Yeah, it's only for students who start in July, and the July catalog will start with 7.
Okay. I haven't looked at 7
can discuss
to
it
see
later if you want
what
to.
differences there are. I mean, I can look. I suspect there's not a lot of differences, but I can have a look to see what are the differences between 6 and 7.
Yeah, and we can discuss it further, you and I. Later.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine, because it's good to know when we're going to make the change.
Thank you.
So, right. So for those of you who are doing right, the citation you still doing it in, those of you on now who are in class now would be using APA 6. So you can use the citations as created here in Proquest. And this helps to make sure, helps you to ensure that your citations are being formatted properly. Then the rest of the items in the toolbox here, of course, you can email the article to yourself. You can print it. It allows you, if you want, to print it directly from the screen. And then there are some other options that you can look at for cloud saving. You can save it to a Google Drive or OneDrive. There are a number of options here. You can export it to some of the reference citation management systems. You have a bunch of options here, and then of course there are different formats here for you to save it at or export it at, depending on what format you want to use, whether it's a PDF or an Excel file or a Word format or just the text only. It's got lots of options. That's one thing I like with Proquest, is that they do offer you a lot of options in this toolbox, as I call it here on your right, for how you can manage the items that you find that you want to save and make part of your research. Any questions so far? Or is everybody following along?
Yes.
Great. last thing I'm gonna
Yes.
do here on point out on Proquest is on the top right of your screen along that blue band or teal band, there's a question mark. If you click on that, and the third item down says training LibGuides. If you click on that, it takes you to a Proquest page where they also offer some training on how to search in Proquest. So if you're not familiar with Proquest, you've never used it before, and you're not very skilled in searching online databases, there are some videos here that you can just click on, and it will walk you through some simple ways to search in Proquest. And then if you are comfortable searching, it shows you some advanced ways of searching in Proquest. So that's an option that I recommend if you want to learn more about how to search in an advanced way in Proquest and make the best use of the platform. I'm going to go back now from Proquest back to the online library, because in addition to the Proquest databases, we do have some other databases and directories that we have provided links in here that are very useful in your research. Now, Epscor Databases are another excellent resource that you can look at. It's not a free database, but we do have here a link to the the Association of Christian Scholars. And when you click on the link, it will take you to this page, which is their website. And if you click on join, they have a very special low rate for students. So you can join as a student for only $20 per year, for the entire year. And it gives you access to all of the research databases, plus a job board and opportunities for networking. So you get way more than your $20 worth. So that's one thing I recommend that you do spend your $20 on. Take out a membership, go to the link, and the website is the Society for Christian Scholars. But as I said, the link is right here in the online library. And you take out that membership and it gives you access to Epscor, to a number of Epscor databases. Martin, I don't know if you want to speak.
Yes, I can help you there. The Society of Christian Scholars is a network of scholars like you who are writing your dissertations or who are teaching in universities. And we want to provide you with the maximum support. And this society is a support network. They provide you access to a lot of databases, including Epscor. And as a student, you register for $20 by each year. You have also free editing services there once you register, and this is really important for you to know. If you're like me, English as a second language, you need an editor, and they provide you this service for free. They have a team of 20 trained editors that do a really nice job. There's other services and networking opportunities. So you have all my encouragements to join this Society of Christian Scholars. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Martin. Yes, so yeah. As you heard from Martin, it's more than worth your $20. So please, I encourage you to register with the Society for Christian Scholars. In addition to that, we also have mission research dissertations. There's that link there, and this is, as it says here, it gives you access to a database with a number of dissertations across the world, from across the world. We also have, of course, the open access digital theology library, and which is, as it says, is open access, and it's a fairly new data collection that started maybe 5-6 years ago, but it's got already has quite a lot of stuff.
At least 10 years ago now.
Oh, well, just shows you how the time is flying.
Yep.
But as of, I have to update the volumes, but as of last year, this time, they already had over, you know, like 200,000 ebooks and collections and journal articles. And as it said, at the time, they were adding like 5,000 items per month to the database. So hugely useful database to have a look at. We've also got, of course, the American Theological Library Association that will link you to libraries and other electronic resources. This accessible library collections, when you click on that, it takes you to a list of university libraries are not only in the US, but around the world that you can have access to. The Internet Archive, you're probably all familiar with. If you're not, this is, as it says, a nonprofit library of millions of books and websites and you name it, they store it. So please explore. Then the other two now, I think Google Scholar, most of you probably use that one quite a lot. And as it says, it's a searchable index of scholarly publications. And that's why for you, it's better for you to use Google Scholar than to just use Google. In Google Scholar, it doesn't always provide you with the link to the full text of the item, but many times it does, and it will appear as like a PDF to the side, or you'll have a searchable link. Let me just click on that. This is what Google Scholar appears as, and if we do articles, let me stick on my team that I was on. If we do rescue mission and we search, okay, and this is what it looks like when you when the screen opens up. And it gives you the title, it tells you, gives you some metadata there on the author, the publication it's from. It tells you how often it's been cited, related articles and different versions of it. And similar to the Proquest, it also gives you some related topics or related searches, so that you can go to if you see something there that is interesting for you. Oh, and if it's a book rather than an article, you will see this little indicator to the left of it that tells you that it's a book and not an article. If you don't see that indicator, then it is an article. And here we go. This is one I was looking for to give you, to show you how it appears if the full text is there. You will see this PDF on the side, an active link that says PDF, and basically if you click on that, it will give you the full text of the article. If you don't see that, sometimes when you click on the title itself, let me just click on the one. No, that's not what I'm looking for. But let me click on that anyway and see how it comes up. Right, so you'll see if you don't see that PDF link at the side, usually you have to have access to either another database, or you can click on where it says get access, and it will tell you how you can either get access, whether it's something you have to pay for or not. Or if you have, where did I go? Let me go back to my page, right. Or as I said, if the full text is readily available there, you will have like this PDF link on the side. And if you click on that, it will just open up the article in the full text will be there as a PDF, which of course you can download or print. What I say to students usually is that if you find an article here that you think is particularly relevant to you, but the full text is not available through Google Scholar, send me an email with the article information, and I will try to source it from other sources. If at all possible, I will try and get it for you and send it to you. So don't despair if you find something there that you really want to look at, but the full text is not available there. Now, Google Books is another Google resource that is available, and it gives you access to what they call preview editions of books. Sometimes you will be able to read the entire book there, but most of the time, the preview edition of the book that it will give you access to is significant chunks of the book, but not always the full book. But it's a good option for looking at and having a quick look at a book, or doing a preview read of a book to check if it is if it's something you really want to look at. In terms of journals, we have the African Journals Online, AJOL. You do have free access to the articles here, but all you do is you register on the site. Once you register on the website, then you can have free access to full text articles from the journals and the ability to download. Project Gutenberg, that's another huge free database, but most of the materials in there tends to be older material, which doesn't mean that it's not useful. There's a lot of useful stuff there. And they tend to load in their website as well things as soon as they come off of copyright. They will have them there for access. But it's a huge collection, and everything in there you have free access to, including ebooks. The Library of Congress catalog is very useful for helping you with, depending on which reference management system you're using, you can sometimes, it's linked to Library of Congress so that you can pull the details of a book into your reference management system without having to type everything. And once you pull it in, then depending on which formatting style you're using, it can then just format it for you within your template. So that's a useful site as well, just to get cataloging data on the books that you're using. And then there's some other resources here that useful to look at. Globetics.net, I have to point out, has a huge library on ethics and theology, and access is free. Again, that is one, you go to globetics.net, you just register, and once you register, you have free access, and I'm talking to thousands of items, journal articles, ebooks, etc., and you have free access. They've got a huge theology library, digital library, that you have access to once you just register on the site.
Jennifer?
So that's an excellent resource and that I recommend.
Jennifer, we're rounding around 8 o'clock.
Okay, so let me wrap up then. All right, so last couple items I wanted to show you in the library. Zotero, we have the link here. That's a free citation and reference management system. If you don't already have one you're using, that's one we provide the link there that you can possibly use. Whatever you're using, as long as you're comfortable with it and it works for you, that's fine. We don't dictate that you have to use one particular one. Instructional videos in the library here. Do remember that we do have some videos here to help you find your way around how to do certain things. One of them is the project paper template, which a lot of students sometimes have a little difficulty with when they first start using it. This is the BGU project paper template, which you're required to use. There is a video here, an excellent video here that was done by Dr. Judy Melton, and it shows how to use the BGU project template with APA style. And APA style is what BGU requires that you use. So this is, if you're not sure how to work your way around the template and APA style, please take the time and watch this video. We have also a copy of a previous online library orientation, and then some other short videos one on the paper template only, and then one on some other writing things that are there. And then last but not least, we do have some additional reference sites. There's for those PhD students that we have coming in now. There are some resources here that are recommended. And again, a lot of other sites that you can get virtually, an endless stream of resources. So I'm going to stop there quickly and just ask if there are any questions. And then I'm going to hand you back to Kathy for any news or information that she wants to share. Oh, actually, before we go off there, I'm going to go back to, let me go to the home screen, because it's just, as we're on here, I just wanted to point out something. I'm going to go to courses and just have a quick look at one of the, we're in what term? April, June. I'm going to just pull up a syllabus. Let's do RES 702. I think that's one that some of you are doing. And I wanted to point out that on most of the syllabi, if you scroll down to where your readings are, you will notice that for most of the syllabi, I have edited them to indicate where we have particular items available in the online library to make it a little bit easier for you. So when you look at your syllabus and you look at your reading list, you should see a notation in red, in brackets, if we have an edition available in the online library. So for boot, it tells you it's available in the online library. You'll see everything that's highlighted. For this one, the sensing one, it tells you we just have a selection of pages that are available. But as long as it says available in the online library, it means the entire full text is available in the online library. So rather than you may be spending money to purchase this, you can just download a copy from the online library and save yourself having to buy that particular book, and maybe just buy the ones that are not available in the online library. One of the things you'll notice in your syllabus as well is that I've indicated where the ebook is available and the cost it was at the time I reviewed the reading list. And those, wherever it says, like, for example, here, Kindle ebook and the price, that's an active link. If you click on it, it will take you to this specific page on Amazon where you can look at, have a look at the ebook and purchase it if you want to purchase it. But as long as you see this red thing in statement in brackets available in BG Online Library, it means the full text is available in the online library, and you can just go to the online library and view it or download it. So remember to check your syllabus for those notations. Okay, any questions? We've been on an hour now, so I'm gonna try and not keep you much longer. Any questions or any comments, Kathy, that you wanna make to them before they disappear and enjoy the rest of their weekend?
No, I think you see that the library is pretty extensive, and it does take time to be familiar, to get familiar with it. I found myself that every time I use it, I discover a different feature. Even though Jennifer does tell us these things, it can feel very overwhelming to manage all of these small details of how to use it. So it sounds crazy, but even when you don't have a project, it might be something you want to just go into and start clicking on and just keep familiarizing yourself with the library so that you can become more familiar. And especially when the pressure is not on to, oh, I have to write something in, you know, this short period of time. That makes the library, I think, even more difficult to use. So not that all of us have all this extra time, but we are home. So we do have a short windows to explore. So I would just recommend that you explore the library. This video will be posted on the news feed, and it will also be in the library under the links and under all the videos. So it's 8:10, but I do want to take, if we have one short question that we can answer. Somebody had a question about JSTOR, and we don't have access to that, correct, Jennifer?
It's not one of our subscriptions.
I access that through
I
my
would say
public library.
use, because remember, as I said, Proquest has so much. Yeah, Proquest has so much material that if you can't find it in, you know, if you don't have access to JSTOR, look for it in Proquest. And if you can't find it in Proquest, send me an email with the information on the particular article, and I will try, I will check in some of the other resources that I may have access to, and see if I can get hold of it for you.
Okay. Anything else before we've taken a little extra time, but anybody have a quick question they want to ask? Okay, well, blessings. Thank you very much for coming out. And remember, this will be posted later on today. So blessings. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all very much for making yourselves available this morning to spend some time with us on, you know, reviewing the library and the resources for your research. And have a wonderful weekend, and blessings to all of you. Stay safe. And I hope that all of your families are also staying safe and doing well.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.